Hi, I'm Betty. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm starting a series today, and the end result will be a dinner party. When I was teaching classes in my home, I found that that was the thing people were most confused by. How to put together a menu for a dinner party that they could present to their guests and still have time to spend with them and not be in the kitchen the whole time. So I think this is a menu that you can do with great ease. Have company, enjoy them, and give them a great dinner at the same time. We're going to start today with some appetizers. And the first one we're going to do is a French appetizer called gougère. And all that is a cheese-flavored cream puff. So here we go with the ingredients. First, you're going to need 1.5 cups of water. You're going to need 4 ounces of butter, cut in cubes, 1.5 cups of flour, 6 eggs, and I've done these just for convenience because we're going to add them to the finished batter one at a time. I've got about 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, which of course you can adjust to taste. I've got 1/2 cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. It's a packed 1/2 cup. And I've got a packed cup of Gruyere or Swiss cheese. And those are the simple ingredients that are going to make these delicious puffs. But we're going to start off at the stove. So here we go over there. I've added the butter to the water, and now I'm going to wait for that to come to a simmer and for the butter to melt completely. All right, once the butter is completely melted, you add your flour all at once. And you can use a wooden spoon. I'm using my old Scottish spurtle. A spurtle, as you can see, is not much more than a wooden stick, and it was what we used in the old days for making, and still do, for making porridge. And I find it works really, really well. You're just going to stir this until it all comes together. And once it does, you want to cook it over low heat for just a few minutes, sort of the same way as you cook your flour when you're making a white sauce. Let it cook to just get rid of that floury taste. So we'll do this for 2 to 3 minutes. We're ready now to start adding the eggs, which you do one at a time, and you mix it until the egg is fully incorporated. You'll see as we go along that as you add the egg, the batter seems to fall apart and go in pieces, but you keep beating until it comes back together before adding the next egg. Once you've obtained that smooth batter, you're going to add your cheeses and a little hit of cayenne pepper. I love that. It gives it just that little unexpected bite. Not too much, but just a nice little hit. And get this all mixed up. Once that's all mixed, I'm going to spoon it into this piping bag. Now, if you don't have a piping bag, you can use a heavy-duty plastic bag and simply snip off the corner. And if you don't want to do that, you can simply spoon it out into small sort of lumps using a couple of teaspoons. But I find this is just so much faster. And the great thing about this is you can bake some now. You can bake them all if you want to and freeze them baked. Or what I like to do is pipe them out onto a sheet, freeze them, and then pop them into a plastic bag, and they're ready for baking anytime I want to. Now when you're having a party, you can bake them early in the day and just give them a quick reheat to crisp them up before your guests come. It's really a versatile, delicious hors d'oeuvre. So we're just going to pipe out a few mounds. And when you pipe, you release and then pull up. And you want puffs, whoops, about that size. You want to figure about 2 to 3 per person, I would say, especially if you're going to be serving something else with it. And these are going to go into a 400-degree oven and bake for about 25 to 30 minutes. Now, to get rid of those little peaks on top, all you need to do is dampen your finger a little and just give it a little light tap. Make them look nice and neat. They really are quite tasty, and as you can see, simple to do. Once you've done this, you've mastered the art of making French pâte à choux. And of course, the same thing without the cheese can be used for cream puffs or eclairs. So I'm just going to pop these into the oven now and wait for them to turn a beautiful golden brown. These are going into my handy Breville oven. And I'll set the timer. I'm going to set it for 25 minutes. I like to always check things a little before they're supposed to be done. There they are, beautifully browned and puffed. I'm just going to set them aside on the stove for a little bit to cool. And while they're cooling, I'm going to make a second appetizer. For my second appetizer, it's going to be a very simple one. Cubes of cantaloupe melon wrapped in prosciutto di Parma. It's a lovely Italian cured ham. And nothing could be simpler. I'm simply going to take a cube of melon with my impeccably clean fingers and wrap it up. Set it on my tray. Now this you can do earlier in the day. Leave it like this, cover it with saran, I should say, and pop it in the refrigerator. You want to take it out a good half hour before your guests arrive to let it come back to room temperature. Things that are really cold don't have as much flavor, and you want to have all the flavor of this beautiful ham and this lovely ripe melon. And once you do take it out and uncover it, you'll just put a toothpick in there to make it easy for your guests to grab. So there you have a very simple but delicious appetizer. There you have 2 simple appetizers to offer your guests when they arrive with a glass of wine. Buon appetito.